The point is, this has not been thought through. Do we have the capacity to start this? Yes, we do. We only have 6 vessels that are capable of doing this. 6 Arleigh Burke class destroyers. We have no frigates anymore because the United States got rid of them in their infinite wisdom. We are not going to use helicopter carriers, or we could use amphibious assault ships, but they're supposed to be preparing for a landing in Iran. So why would these LPDs be out there bird dogging these vessels? It's almost ridiculous, the lack of resources that we have there. So it'll look good. Trump can make it sound good, but in practicality, it's unenforceable. Ships will get through left, right, and center.
That was my next question: is how difficult or easy is it to enforce? Assume that Trump makes a decision to enforce it, and no other country sends their own vessels, their own frigates to escort those ships. Is it difficult to implement it?
This is where things get dicey, because he did make mention that other countries were going to assist in this process, which would also include escorting vessels. And I hope he's not thinking that the Saudis, the Qataris, the Emiratis are going to risk their navies to come out and, enforce this thing, because what you're doing is putting these countries back at risk of open warfare. And let's be honest, Mario, you and I both know Iran holds all the cards in the Persian Gulf right now, all of them. They could literally end every industry, every international transactional fossil fuel industry in the Gulf, and then take away their ability to survive with water by destroying desalination plants, right? We all understand that. We recognize that. The Gulf states have been preparing for it. The Iranians have been tripling down and preparing for it. And this time they're not going to attack air bases. They're just going to attack infrastructure, and they're going to waste it, right? So that being said, let's hope that that is not a component of this. All right. Gulf states don't need this. If Donald Trump has made this decision, it's a decision that will last a matter of days, not weeks.
How capable are the Iranians to be able to sink an American ship?
They have plenty of capability, but if that were to happen, that means that we're back at full scale open war. Right. So let's hope that that doesn't happen. But the blockade itself, I'm certain, will only occur in the Gulf of Oman. And it'll happen when the ships come out of the traffic separation scheme just to the northeast of the Musandam Peninsula. And by the way, people keep saying the Strait of Hormuz is an international waterway. It is not. It's used internationally, but there is that 21-mile gap. Iran controls the north half of it, and Oman has border on the south half of it. There is no gap that's international until you are past the center of the traffic separation scheme. So you could try to skirt stay in the Omani waters, but that's where the mines are. So the U.S. won't intercept ships.
No, go ahead. I was going to say also, the Iranians won't even allow any ship to go through the Omanian territory either.
No.
So that's not really a solution. So, there is no solution. The only solution is to try. So is it hard to avoid the American warships?
Yeah, no, it's not hard. They're going to be arrayed in a short group, a small squadron, a blockade squadron that will set themselves. If you look on a map and you see Bandar Jask, I'm getting dyslexic. Bandar Jask oil terminal. That, by the way, is another oil transshipment point. So they're going to be off Jask. They're going to have one frigate, one destroyer off of this. By the way, this mission is a waste of these warships. These are our best multi-capability warships. Sitting out there, and they can go out there and they can use their helicopter to go out to ships and give verbal warnings and everything. But if somebody decides, these giant ships cannot go fast. The most they can go is 15 knots. Right? U.S. warships can kick it up to 35 knots if they want to, run circles around them. But what happens when they refuse to comply? And they just keep going and keep going and keep going. These things are.
That's where we go to the rules of engagement.
Tons.
That's where we get to the rules of engagement you're talking about earlier. Start off with a verbal warning, then first, verbal warning to turn around. Then try to board the ship if that's not possible. Is it difficult to board a ship? You gave examples of how it was difficult back in your day. Is it very difficult right now? We've seen the Russian cargo ships. I think there was one off Venezuela, a Russian one that was going to Venezuela that was boarded.
Yeah. VBSS
we've got the helicopters. Mm.
Yeah, but you can go over by small boats. You can go by helicopters. There's a myriad of ways of getting on the ship, but the purpose of it is to take control of the vessel. And if the ship blockades you in such a way that you can't get to the bridge and you can't get to aft machinery, there's not a damn thing you can do. And they could sail for a day with your team on board, right? And steer themselves into a neutral port or steer themselves into another port. And what are you going to do? Explosively destroy the door to the bridge and damage or kill crew? This is going to have to be a decision made in the White House.
So many things that can go wrong. So what do you think is Trump's strategy here? Because he's trying to take away Iran's biggest card in the negotiations. He's trying to tell Iran, you're going to use that card, we're going to take that card away from you. And the goal is to see who blinks first. Will the Iranians blink first because they need the money coming in? But Iranians have a lot of oil already out there in the Arabian Sea and in the Indian Ocean. So they've already got a lot of oil sitting there. They could sustain this for a while because they prepped for this. So even if the blockade works, the Iranians could last a couple of weeks, 2, 3, 4 weeks because of the kind of the floating oil reserves they have, but the global economy cannot. So I just don't see where Iran would blink first. And that's putting aside the fact that China or Pakistan or India could send through their own warships to escort their own frigates to escort them.
Mario, you're using the wrong word. There is no strategy in the Trump White House. Let's just be honest. Every military, intelligence, geopolitical, national security analyst has said this. Certainly, I haven't seen everyone on your show, but certainly on every other mainstream media show. There is no strategy here. There are tactics that are being applied. And they think, again, they seem to think that this is cool. And this would be something interesting to do that would force Iran into compliance. Iran could stop every ship from leaving its ports right now with oil, and they could let the global economy collapse, and it would be Donald Trump's fault. Iran has got all the cards in this game because this was not thought out. This was not thought through. We see everything that comes out of the White House is an emergent, urgent response to where they're just pulling every arrow out of the quiver and shooting it willy-nilly into the air. The Iranians could sit this out for months, knowing that their infrastructure is not destroyed, their oil is secure. India cannot take this. China could probably get through it. Japan can't, right? The chip industry inside of South Korea could come to a crashing halt. All of the world's AI chips, if they can't get helium out of the Gulf. Iran understands this. Trump apparently does. He just posted
this just now. Iran's navy is laying at the bottom of the sea, completely obliterated. 158 ships. What we have not hit are their small number of what they call, quote, fast attack ships, because we did not consider them much of a threat. Warning, if any of these ships come anywhere close to our blockade, they will be immediately eliminated using the same system of kill that we use against the drug dealers on boats at sea. It is quick and brutal. P.S. 98.2% of drugs coming into the U.S. by ocean or sea have stopped. Thank you for your attention to this matter. So these are the small ships. You talked about them having a lot of these ships, countless number of ships that can go there and just drop off those mines. Which ones is he referring to, those or what?
Yeah, he's referring to what he tried to use the correct term, FIAC, F-I-A-C, fast inshore attack craft, what we call high-speed small boats, right? They're not ships. They're tiny, tiny, tiny little boats. IRGC has 33,000 of them. I have been screaming this since they attacked me in 1988. We have been watching this small boat threat grow since 1979. This is the first thing the Iranians developed was forget about the Navy, okay? The Ukrainians don't have a Navy, and they sank the entirety of the Russian Black Sea Fleet. By the way, today is the 4th anniversary of the Russian Navy famous attack on Snake Island, where the Ukrainians said, when they said, Russian warship, go F yourself. That's what the Iranians are going to be saying. He doesn't seem to understand that if FIACs or fast attack craft come out into the SOH or stay in Iranian waters in order to carry out an escort, and he sinks them, the whole effing war is back on. What will happen next is Ras Laffan, natural gas facility, will probably eat 2 more ballistic missiles and knock down another $1 trillion off of the Qatar's market capitalization. Oil insurance companies will immediately shelve all plans to insure any vessel because the war is back on. What is wrong with these idiots in the White House? Yeah, well, I don't have to imply. It's what's going to happen. This is Trump trying to stave off the inevitable. Okay? He started this fight. He's losing this fight. He will lose this fight. This is him trying to flex his muscles that he doesn't have. We have a big Navy. We can do this mission. But it is not about using vessels, guys. War is politics by other means, in the famous quote from von Clausewitz. There has to be some political benefit to this other than looking cool and having guys fast rope. You sink an Iranian boat with a Hellfire missile, the Iranians will take it out on desalination plants in Kuwait. The fight will be back on. You will have broken the ceasefire. And again, I don't care who you are. Every intelligence professional in the United States is screaming these words at their chain of command. You will have broken the ceasefire, and this war will go back to what it was. The United States can bomb day and night for the next year. The global economy will crack, and the Gulf states will lose all of their industries. By God, it's the easiest thing for anyone that understands politics and warfare to recognize that the United States had better chill out and had better back off this thing, or by the way, no one's going to go with a U.S. Navy warship and escort. It's like asking to be.
Australia said no. Australia already said no earlier today. I'm not sure about Europe yet. They've commented on this. Yeah.
Oh, did I? And I know. Let's let this be the last question I have to check out. But did we mention the Houthis yet?
No, of course, we have.
The Houthis could shut the Bab el-Mandab down at the first shot, and then you could have now 150, all of that oil that's going from the Yanbu pipeline from Jubail to the western side of Saudi Arabia, which is now their lifeline, and it goes down through the Bab el-Mandab and out to Asia. That could be shut off today, right? So
what a mess.
These people are not thinking this through. And people go, whoa, why are you getting so worked up over it? I see the disaster that's unfolding on my nation because I have morons who think that they know what they're doing. They don't. And now, oh, by the way, what if the Houthis decide to destroy the Yanbu oil transfer facility? Yeah. Right? We go back to full-scale war, and the Houthis jump in with both feet.
Jesus,
it could all go bad. It could all go bad, Mario.
Yes or no? Do you think we'll have peace by June?
By June, yeah. I think we'll have peace by June.
I agree.
I think that, but the damage to the world will take a year to just barely recover the oil prices and the downfalls. But again, I'm not here to be optimistic. I'm here to be realistic. I do not pull the punches in that regard. And you guys will just have to deal with it.
Thank you, Malcolm.